Hi, everybody. Before you go pitching, speaking from stage, or even just owning the room you're walking into, you have to be prepared. Too often what happens is you go with preparing your speech of what you want to say, the way you're going to say it, how you're going to say it, and you don't spend, a lot of people just don't spend enough time thinking about who are you speaking to? Where are you speaking? What does the room look like? What does the audience think, know, believe? What's the history of the location you're in? What are the little nuances, the little words that can make a difference in how people relate to you, how people can hear your message, how they can hear your pitch, your story, your presentation, your whole idea. So here are three things that I think is really important for you to be aware about how to prepare before you ever walk into a room, before you ever walk into negotiation, before you ever walk onto a stage. You have to know about the history, the beliefs, and the concerns of the audience. And the way for you to do that is by starting to ask questions to get out of yourself and not make assumptions. Too often, people walk in with assumptions about what's going to happen without first doing the prep work of understanding who you're presenting to. So if you're going to do a pitch, like I've done pitches in front of major organizations hired by companies as a subject matter expert going in, and too often the people have prepared for what they're going to say, but not really understanding who are you presenting to? What are their concerns? What are they thinking about? What's happening in their location? So the first is a history lesson. You really want to ask questions about what has historically happened in this particular office, in this particular business, in this particular county, in this particular country, in this particular region of the world, in this particular content. You have to have a sense of understanding of all the history. You don't have to do a deep dive history lesson, but you really want to be able to ask the right questions so that you're just in the know. So you don't put your foot in the mouth, which is a big problem. People put their feet in their mouths by saying something. If they had only asked a question, they would have known. So first is to know a little bit about the history, because you don't know where those people are coming from. You don't know what side they took. You don't know how it affected their family. But if you had a little bit of understanding of the history of that company, that department, that staff, that business, that city, that region, that country, that continent, you would be able to be aware of the complexity of the people sitting in front of you and be able to be more attuned to where they're going to be. You want to be able to know that sometimes that in fact impacts their beliefs, their belief systems. And if you don't know or have an idea of some of their belief systems, then as you're proposing a new idea, a new construct, a new way of being, you may not be able to get through that because they have these beliefs that may not be aligned to be open to receiving your idea or your thought. So you want to spend a little bit of time before you ever present about thinking, what are the beliefs that they may have? What are the things that they may be fearful about? What are the concerns that they have? And the more that you can be thinking about that, then the more you can be flexible on your feet and speak with pizzazz and address the things. Because when you see their face change, when you see their eyes flicker, when you see their uh, body shift, you know that you've touched on a belief and maybe they're pushing you away. You've touched on a belief that's making them angry. You've touched on something and you have to totally be ready to shift and move and groove. And the only way that could do that is if you thought through what beliefs may they have based on some of the history that you've learned. You also want to be very aware of the concerns that they have. So if they've sent you an RFP, for instance, and they've written down the why, about why are they looking for this product or service, or they're interviewing you for an opportunity, or if they're interviewing for a job, or that you were sent by your company and organization to share your ideas to maybe change a person's point of view, you have to be very aware of their concerns. Now, they may not tell you outright. That's okay. You can do some pre-work to ask questions from people around them. Ask people that are in the same industry, in that same area, so you can be aware of the concerns that may be coming up. The more you prepare, knowing the history, knowing their beliefs, and knowing their concerns, the less likely you are to walk in with assumptions, the less likely you are to put your foot in your mouth, the less likely you are to get that deer in the headlights look because you didn't know the answer. You didn't know that might be an issue. When you prepare, you always are able to be light on your feet, answer the questions, and ensure that people know that you care about them and that your solution is the right and perfect solution for them. My name is Pegine. Check me out at pegine.com, and always go to Power Women Worldwide, where women are bold, brave, seen, heard, and paid well. See you soon.